This time last year, we barely knew what we were in for. On the day that Richard Matt and David Sweat escaped from Clinton Correctional Facility, we didn't know right away that their brazen plan would lead to a nearly month-long search, paralyzing our region. The dramatic Hollywood-esque plotline that captivated the country thrust our backyard into the nationwide spotlight. Police determined to bring the two killers back into custody.
We're all in during this search. We won't stop until we have these convicts captured.
And the governor got a first-hand look at the escape route.
So these are dangerous people, and they're nothing to be trifled with.
June 6, 2015, the first of what would be 23 long days, a massive effort from local law enforcement, an unprecedented time for our region. And on the first anniversary of the escape from Dannemora, new details released on what went wrong. Good evening, everyone. I'm Stephanie Gorin. Inspector General Catherine Leahy Scott released her long-awaited report on the prison break late this afternoon. It is a scathing look at the failures that led up to the escape and makes a number of recommendations to prevent it from ever happening again. In the report, Leahy Scott writes the escape could not have occurred, however, except for long-standing breakdowns in basic security functions at Clinton. WPTZ's Liz Streppa is live at the prison in Dannemora with a closer look at this document, and it is not a short document, Liz.
Well, Stephanie, I got my hands on this report about an hour and a half ago. This is the Inspector General's report. It's over 150 pages long. We've been combing through it, and we will have much more coming up later tonight and over the course of the next several days on what was in that report. But some of the highlights for you: the Inspector General, Catherine Leahy Scott, slams the prison for grossly inadequate night counts, or in some stances, she says they were not conducted at all. She says over the course of 85 nights that David Sweat was working in the tunnels under the prison, more than 400 inmate bed checks should have occurred, which if conducted properly, Leahy Scott says would have detected Sweat's absence and foiled the escape plot. She also says inspection programs by the Department of Corrections failed to detect any security deficiencies that contributed to the escape. When we spoke with Janet Dupree earlier this week, before the report was released, she was hopeful the report would help the community heal.
And that's the final piece of healing for the folks at Clinton Correctional and the community. Whatever's in the report, we deal with it, we may move forward, and then we complete the returning Clinton strong to as strong as it can possibly be.
And as Janet Dupree says, this is the final piece of closure for people here in the North Country. And again, we will have much more on this report over the course of the next several days. And later tonight, on air and online, we'll be combing through this report to look into how Richard Matt and David Sweat were able to pull off their escape out of Clinton Correctional Facility. We're live in Dannemora tonight. Liz Streppa, WPTZ News Channel 5.
Liz, thank you. We contacted Clinton Correctional Facility for a response, and Lieutenant Gregory LaFrance told us, quote, "There is nobody available to make a comment on the report at this time. The report looks at what happened leading up to the escape. He directed us to the state." Now here's a look back at the timeline of events starting in the early morning hours as Matt and Sweat busted out of the prison. Overnight on Saturday, June 6, corrections officers discovered inmates Richard Matt and David Sweat had cut through the backs of their cells, snaked through underground pipes and tunnels, and popped out of a manhole blocks away. Civilian prison worker Joyce Mitchell was supposed to drive the getaway car, got cold feet, and instead went to the hospital for an apparent panic attack. The 51-year-old woman became the center of the investigation. June 11th, overnight, extreme police activity on Route 374. When search dogs picked up the scent of Matt and Sweat, robocalls went out to residents in Katyville, warning them to stay inside and turn on their outside lights. For the next 2 days, the Saranac Central School District shut down schools.
The charges with Ms. Mitchell.
The 12th, after days of speculation, Joyce Mitchell was arrested and charged with promoting prison contraband and criminal facilitation for her part in the escape. After 2 weeks of searching, efforts expanded to miles away from Dannemora after reports of a sighting more than 300 miles from Clinton Correctional Facility.
899 to any other.
But those Western New York searches were short-lived when it was determined that the inmates had been here all along. On June 20th, New York State Police received a call about a break-in at a camp in Mountain View. A man seen running away from the camp. A pack of law enforcement converged and concentrated search efforts in the area and found DNA on June 22nd. June 24th, Corrections Officer Gene Palmer arrested for handing over hidden tools in frozen meat to Matt and Sweat. June 26th, a driver reported his camper had been fired upon, the tip that would lead police to shoot and kill Richard Matt in the woods in Malone. 2 days later, on June 28th, David Sweat was shot and captured in Constable, bringing the whole ordeal to an end. The manhunt involved neighboring states, too. Today, Vermont's governor remembered it as a tough time, a tense time that went on for so long that he and Governor Cuomo wondered if the fugitives may have made it all the way to Mexico.
You know, it's a real testament to our law enforcement in Vermont and New York that they came together, they never gave up, they stayed out there with mosquitoes, eating them alive, and out in tough circumstances, and hunted them down.
Law enforcement will keep its citizens safe. A look back at some of the key players from the escape now. Inmate Richard Matt was shot and killed by a Border Patrol tactical agent based in Vermont on June 26th. That was the 21st day of the manhunt. Matt's accomplice, David Sweat, continues to serve life in prison for killing a sheriff's deputy. In February, he apologized before being sentenced up to 7 years, additional years, for charges related to the escape. Joyce Mitchell also remains behind bars. She's serving 2 1/3 to 7 years for her role in the plot and must pay for damage done to the prison. And former correctional officer Gene Palmer is more than halfway through his 6-month sentence. He will be released, we're told, on June 27th. Officials say Palmer passed hacksaw blades in hamburger meat to Matt and Sweat. Our coverage continues over the next hour. Coming up next at 5:30, how the prison break impacted a project aimed at clearing up drinking water for some Dannemora residents. Plus, new at 6, what happened to the reward money that had been offered. The family of the camper that was shot at by Matt speaks out. You can also read more of the IG report online at WPTZ.com and on our mobile app. And we'll have continuing coverage tonight at 10 and 11 o'clock. All right, this is a little hard to do, but we have to switch gears now to a big event going underway right now, the Burlington Discover Jazz Festival. We have team coverage tonight. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Tom Messner and WPTZ's Leanne Denyer are live on Church Street for all of the festivities. And guys, I gotta say, I bet you're having fun.
Oh, Stephanie, it has turned out to be just a beautiful day and a beautiful afternoon. We've got the music about to start up yet again. We've got the Virgins High School Commodore Jazz Band behind us. So we're going to listen to them coming up in just a few minutes. And you've got all kinds of things coming,
There's
don't
all
you?
kinds of things happening for the next hour and a half on WPTZ. It has been an absolute blast being out here today. There are people dancing, people singing, moving their feet. And this festival really brings tens of thousands of people to Burlington every single year, and festival organizers have some tools that they hope will help make this week a little bit easier for those folks who are in town. The festival's mobile app is free, and it gives users a real chance to get a sense of what's going on this week. The app has the basics, showtimes, ticket information, as well as maps and ticket costs, but it also allows users to discover new artists and to really interact with that information. It gives background information on the bands that are playing, when they're playing, and it even allows you to play a clip just to give you a sense of that band's sound. Maybe that's something that you would like to check out this week. Organizers say it's all a part of a push to help festival goers really customize their experience.
You can favorite festival events, and so you can really create your own festival right in the app. And of course, true to the theme of the festival is you can discover new artists, and so you can listen to artists, all of the festival artists, right in the app, and that's a really great feature that people have been enjoying too.
Keeping with the push to go digital, festival organizers say all of last year's performances are available online for folks to stream. If they just can't get enough of it this year, they want to see more, they can go ahead and head on over to the website. So organizers estimate about 50,000 people come each year to the Jazz Festival to hear bands like this one right behind me here, as long as some of the bigger headliners. But new numbers out from the marketplace say that 20,000 people alone came last year to the block party. So organizers are thinking maybe that $50,000 number or 50,000 people number might actually be a little bit low. So we'll just have to see. They're excited to see just how many people come out this year.
Well, we're going to talk about the weather leading up to the big block party coming up on Friday. Actually, right now we're feeling pretty confident about that.
Yeah. It is great out right now. If it sticks like this for the week,
well, it's going to get a little bit cooler. We're going to get to the forecast coming up in just a little bit. I think my favorite part of the Jazz Week here on the Church Street Marketplace is what's happening behind us. We've got high school bands that come on the City Hall stage here. This is the Virgins Union High School Commodore Jazz Band playing a little Pat Benatar. Alrighty guys, it's the Virgins Union High School Jazz Band. This is just one of many bands that are going to be hanging around the marketplace this week. No question about that. Now, we are set up for what looks to be a very, very good night tonight. But as we look down the road, we're certainly going to be talking about the chances for some showers. And that's going to be the case coming up. That's going to be the case coming up for the next couple of days, so just be aware of that. Right now, it is beautiful out here, so if you get a chance, stop on down. We will be at the bottom block in front of City Hall here with the jazz band playing now, and they're going to be replaced coming up within the half hour or so with the Hanover Jazz Band, and those guys are terrific. So we'll get those guys on the air, too, and of course, we've got a 5-day forecast plus 2 that is so important during the Discover Jazz Festival week, or 10 days as the case may be. It's Tom Mester. We're live on Church Street. We'll see you from here in just a few minutes.
Looking forward to it, Tom. Thank you. Well, pipeline pushback. Next at 5, protesters try to step in and stop a controversial project underway right now in Williston. And new at 5:30, a victory for Vermonters. Today, Vermont Gas continued work in Williston on the controversial natural gas pipeline, but not without some pushback. WPTZ's Keel Smith was out early this morning where 2 protesters were arrested, and some are still there tonight.
We're Jane Doe. We crossed the line, got pepper sprayed, and now we're in cell 13 solidarity.
Singing in protest. Early Monday morning, dozens gathered to take a stand against the Vermont gas pipeline.
There are many concerns. First and foremost, we need to get off of fossil fuels.
No more fracking anywhere.
The group, organized by Rising Tide Vermont, attempted to halt progress at a Williston work site.
We're just putting speed bumps in the road. We're doing everything we can to slow it down, stop it, be a pain in the butt.
2 protesters attached themselves to an excavator. One was handcuffed and hauled off by police. The other, with his arms fastened inside welded metal pipes, not so easily removed.
When they're taken into custody, if they're a Vermont resident, they'll end up with a citation.
Just up the road along Route 2A, another group of protesters blocking the entrance to this construction site in Williston.
We've been through a lot of process with state agencies in the last 3.5 years, and those processes are totally broken. So the only thing to do now is civil disobedience.
Beyond the entrance, more demonstrators strap themselves to equipment.
We have a piece of pipe with a lot of stuff around it, and we are clipped into the middle of it.
The natural gas pipeline is slated to run 41 miles from Williston to Middlebury. Vermont gas officials have long said the project would be complete this year, but now it's not so clear if it will happen on time or on budget. $154 million.
What I can tell you right now is this is a very complex and challenging project with a lot of moving pieces.
But for protesters like Jane Palmer, it's pretty simple.
This pipeline is wrong. This needs to be stopped, and we're not going to stop.
In Williston, Keel Smith, WPTZ News Channel 5.
I love that music. Don't you love that music? The fun continues in Burlington, where Jazz Fest is in full swing. WPTZ's Leanne Denyer joins us with more on what's happening tonight. Leanne, you got the plum assignment tonight.
Hi, Steph. Yes, our live coverage from Church Street continues right now. It is absolutely electric out here. And right now, we have a very special treat for everyone. The headliners of tonight's shows, the Rodriguez brothers, are here with us to tell us about tonight's performance. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Good. Great. How are you?
Doing well. We're doing well.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. It's such a lovely festival. And tonight, we're going to be honored to present our music from our latest recording. It's called Impromptu. And we'll be presenting Latin jazz originals.
So what can people expect to hear from you two tonight? What's the sound like?
A mixture of our jazz influence, being born in the United States and whatnot, and along with the Afro-Cuban and South American influences that we grew up in as well in our home.
And I understand it's been a pretty exciting year for you both with your first Grammy nomination this year.
Yeah, that was great to be nominated among some of our heroes, and we had a great time over there. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. And tonight, I understand you both have played this festival before. Is that correct? What is it about this one that makes it special to you?
I honestly think it's the audiences. This is some of the best audiences in the world. I've had such a great time here before.
Real jazz fans, you know, it's always great to play and for people who appreciate the art form and support it. So.
All right. And is there anything that you're hoping to do while you're in town?
Get some Ben and Jerry's. For
yeah,
sure,
they said the ice cream was really happening back here, so somewhere back there. So we're looking forward to that after the concert.
You too?
Yeah, we love ice cream.
I think that's a pretty general consensus, especially on such a warm day like today. We're actually going to send it on over to Tom, who's going to tell us a little bit more about that warm weather here in just a moment. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. Tickets are $30, I believe, at Flynn Space. Shows at 8 o'clock tonight. Let's go ahead and send it on over to Tom. Thanks again for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys, we're back in front of the stage here at City Hall Park. Oh, well, on the other side of City Hall Park, in front of City Hall. Do you guys want to do one more? We'll put you... I put the pressure on really badly to put one more song in the repertoire because we've got the Hanover Band. These guys waiting over here. We're going to get them on in just a few minutes. So what we're going to do is... you guys feel like doing this, or...? Yeah. They're hurrying up here for us. This is great. They were just about to break down. I said, just a little more, just a little more. Tell you what we'll do. Why don't we do a little weather right now? We'll catch them on the backside of this thing, okay? I want to give you a forecast for the next couple of days coming up here at the Jazz Festival because we do have some rain in the forecast, but we're feeling fairly good about this. It's going to break down this way for you. I do think the best chances for rain showers during the day tomorrow and probably some thunderstorms in there as well. Well, what's going to be mainly east of Burlington, that's what we're thinking, but we're going to keep an eye on things for sure, 75 degrees. Then it gets colder, scattered showers. And look at that, 62 for a high Wednesday. Thursday, it's going to be cool, maybe a passing shower in there. Tonight, though, we're looking great. Check this out. I mean, temperatures are really up there. It's a beautiful night here in the marketplace. No question about that. So if you feel like coming on out, it's going to be just gorgeous for you because this is going to be hanging in there. Temperatures not far from 80 degrees right here, right now. I want to show you a storm tracker. Not too much going on locally, but if you widen out a little bit, well, we've got Tropical Storm Colin down to the south. Don't think that's going to affect us very much. So we're not too concerned about that. We're going to be in good shape at least till tomorrow. For tonight, clearing skies, going to be seasonable, maybe a little fog late, 58 for a low. Tomorrow, how about this? Some scattered thunderstorms around, mainly during the afternoon, but it's kind of that pop-up stuff, so we'll watch that for you. Temperatures are going to be mainly in the 70s, a little bit cooler in the Adirondacks. Then the 5-day forecast, we go from 75 tomorrow. Scattered showers Wednesday, Thursday, a few showers. Friday looks nice, 62. We get you into the weekend, and the weekend not looking bad. I mean, it's going to be cool for this time of year. 73, then 71 degrees, couple of showers around. Monday, it's a mix of sun and clouds at 74. Quickly before we go, let's take a listen to the Virgins Jazz Band. everybody, as the Virgins Union Commodore Jazz Band. Good stuff here on the stage in front of City Hall. We're going to have another band coming up from Hanover in just a couple of minutes, and we will get them on TV as well. Leanne Denyer is here with me. We'll see you live from Church Street in just a few minutes. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Being a parent can be one of the most rewarding experiences of anyone's life. I can attest to that. It really is. But it can also be scary for those welcoming a newborn for the very first time. Dr. Lewis First has some tips for soon-to-be fathers.
With Father's Day approaching, guys expecting to be dads for the first time have been asking me for some parenting tips. So let me see if I can help dads-to-be get ready for their taking on this new role. First, guys, if you are somewhat anxious or overwhelmed about welcoming a new baby into your home, be reassured. You are not alone, and it's perfectly normal. If you feel you don't know anything about babies, there are videos you can download and childbirth classes available, with some even designed for dads only, that teach you everything from how to hold a baby to how to change a diaper, not to mention proper installation of that car seat and child-proofing of your home. The good thing about those classes is that you meet other dads-to-be who feel just as anxious as you do, and the teachers know this and encourage any and all questions, no matter how hesitant you may be to ask them. Don't worry about whether or not you're going to be a good dad, since any new role requires learning with experience. And don't worry either that being a father means an end to having time for fun, such as playing golf with your buddies. You can certainly have fun, even more fun, playing with your baby. But you can also find time for your partner and yourself, either when your infant's asleep or through the magic of having a friend or a relative who can babysit. If you enjoy the outdoors, you can take your baby along with you with the help of a baby carrier device. It's important to remember that you can do everything your partner can do except breastfeed, although you need to be just as much a supportive champion for breastfeeding as mom is. In addition, given that parenting a baby is a shared experience, be sure to do just that, whether it's changing, diapering, or bottle feeding pump breast milk in the middle of the night while mom sleeps. Doing these things yourself will allow you to develop your own unique style that will make your infant know from the start that you're essential to that mix just as much as mom is. And in turn, you'll love parenting and truly understand why Father's Day is celebrated not just for your own dad, but for the dad you are about to be. Hopefully, tips like this will help everyone go farther when it comes to striving to be a terrific dad for your new baby. This is pediatrician Dr. Lewis First from the University of Vermont Children's Hospital, wishing all dads a happy Father's Day and reminding everybody to always be first with your kids.
Don't forget to honor those dads. They really do so much. All right, so do you have a question for Dr. First? All you have to do is send him an email. The address is firstwithkids@wptz.com. Your question could become the next First with Kids topic. We have more for you. We'll be right back.